Well, the first Monday Night Raw is in the books on the road to WrestleMania as we had the post-show or the aftermath show of what happened last night at the Royal Rumble for Monday Night Raw. We have the decision on who is going to be facing, Becky Lynch is going to be facing at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, I don't know if it's been confirmed yet or not, but we had that decision was supposed to be made tonight. And it felt like Monday Night Raw when it kicked off was going to be, it just had intrigue because we didn't know if Seth Rollins was going to go with Brock Lesnar or Daniel Bryan by the end. We had, as Ronda Rousey stated after TLC, that after every single championship match that she has on pay-per-view, the next night, whether she's hurt or anything, as long as she can go, she is going to issue an open challenge to anybody in the Raw locker room. And she did that again tonight in a good match. I wouldn't say it was better than what we saw last night between her and Sasha Banks, but it was a great match. And afterwards, we had some great banter between her and Becky Lynch. It was definitely the best part of the show. Everything else on this show sucked. We had Elias, who I guess is a heel again, for whatever reason. We had Jeff Jarrett and the Road Dogg out here tonight, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, my head's starting to hurt. This is just killing me. Why is WWE putting us through this? It was bad. Finn Balor getting buried by Bobby Lashley, even though it looks like we're going to see Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship somewhere down the line. The tag team of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder did reunite tonight. They did a nice little highlight package of their previous success back in the ECW to SmackDown, where they were known as Bret and Brian Major. They became tag team champions together. They were the Edgeheads. So it's great to see a tag team come back together. And eventually, as they said in a later interview on the WWE's YouTube page, that Zack Ryder stated that they will be tag team champions again. So that'll be interesting to see where we go from there. This show started off good and hot, I think, and we actually got a version of Dean Ambrose that each and every one of us had been hoping for, with his words to Seth Rollins and Triple H. And Nia Jax, after her run in the Royal Rumble last night, got physical with another guy in the terms of Dean Ambrose, as her and Tamina took on Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. The winners would be added to the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. There were 2 of those matches tonight, and quite honestly, the first match, which went long, definitely had intrigue too, because you didn't know if they were going to go with Nia Jax and Tamina or Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, because you know WWE just adores Alexa Bliss and wants her to be in everything. And then you had the Riot Squad versus the makeshift team of Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. Not Alicia Fox, but Natalya. Instead of what we get next week, they're going to have the final of these three qualifiers for the Elimination Chamber, where you have Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox and Nikki Cross. So, has it been confirmed that every one of the NXT call-ups are a part of Monday Night Raw now? Because Nikki Cross is wrestling in a match to see who's going to be in this Elimination Chamber match next week. During Finn Balor's coming to the ring, you saw Heavy Machinery in the back. EC3, I don't think, was anywhere on show tonight. Neither was Lacey Evans. So, I have no idea. But it seems like the Heavy Machinery and Nikki Cross are on Monday Night Raw. I don't think that's been confirmed yet, but I think that's what we're going to be getting. I mean, Heavy Machinery and Nikki Cross have both had matches on Monday Night Raw, whereas the other ones have not. I mean, Lacey Evans and EC3 have not, so maybe EC3 and Lacey Evans will be on SmackDown tomorrow, and that's where they're going to be on SmackDown now. Who the hell knows? But instead of going with Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke, again, Alicia Fox is literally the female Big Show. She is the female Big Show, as in not in size, athleticism, or talent, but they have her turning heel and babyface with absolutely no explanation whatsoever. Starrcade last year, that special they did on the WWE Network, which I didn't care to watch because it meant absolutely nothing. Dana Brooke was teaming with, I believe, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus the Riot Squad. Fast forward to the very next night, her, Alicia Fox, and Mickie James came out to attack Bayley and Sasha Banks. Now she's a babyface again? What the hell? No explanation whatsoever. Last week I believe she was a heel. Now she's a babyface because Ember Moon got hurt, I guess, and it was going to be Ember Moon and Natalya versus the Riot Squad. But Ember Moon, I guess, in kayfabe got hurt. I'm pretty sure she's not actually injured. It was just a way to have Natalya and Dana Brooke in a match against the Riot Squad to give the Riot Squad an easy win to get into the Elimination Chamber. This show started off hot, in my opinion, with with Seth Rollins, Triple H, and Dean Ambrose into a match between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, which was actually better, in my opinion, than the TLC match. It actually started the way the TLC match should have started. Go figure. Neither one of them are hunting for the Intercontinental Championship anymore, and they could put on a better match than what they did in December. Kind of sad. After that, and I believe it was after that, yeah. After that, we went way downhill from there. Jackson Tamina versus Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. The only reason this match even happened was because Corbin was supposed to face Kurt Angle months ago. He ran away from Braun Strowman, I believe it was. And then Drew McIntyre got put in that match. And Drew McIntyre beat Kurt Angle with the ankle lock. And now, that is why this match happened tonight. Who gives a fuck? I didn't even care to watch the match, and I'm not going to go over it. I only know it's Baron Corbin won. Finn Balor came out and got destroyed by Bobby Lashley. We had the Revival versus Hawkins and Ryder. Revival win that one. Elias comes out, and this is where the show went from, it's an okay Raw to this Raw sucks. Elias comes out, starts talking shit on the fans. WWE, I guess, decided, well, Elias isn't hot anymore. Elias shouldn't be a babyface anymore. We need to turn Elias heel. Why in the fuck would you try and turn Elias heel the night after A, the Royal Rumble, or B, WrestleMania? Those two are the hottest episodes of Raw that you have all goddamn year long. Tonight felt like, for the most part, a Raw after WrestleMania with how the crowd in Talking Stick Resort, I believe that's where they were, the Talking Stick Resort was. They were on fire for a good part of this show. And Elias came out and was like, I ain't singing for you guys anymore. It's all for me. Because the arena they were in just started chanting, we're not worthy, we're not worthy. And out came Jeff Jarrett to his Ain't I Great gimmick music instead of his music, his gimmick he should be using, the music he should be using for this promo, because he was more of his serious Jeff Jarrett tone than he was before he left for WCW in 1999. All of a sudden, the Road Dogg came out and made it even worse. So what we got was them singing My Baby Tonight, and Elias destroyed both guys. Was this supposed to get Elias booed? Because as he was leaving, Phoenix started chanting and serenading him with Oh, Walk with Elias. So whatever WWE tried to pull with Elias tonight got nothing. It went wrong, as usual. Mojo's in the back, and this was interesting because I'll go over everything as we go, but Mojo Rawley, I guess, is getting another character change because we come back from break and Mojo Rawley is just screaming and yelling and getting like pissed off at something, blaming somebody. They pan around and you see him talking into a mirror. So Mojo Rawley is doing the thing that he should do, I guess, because half of what's wrong with Mojo Rawley is Mojo Rawley, and the other half is Vince McMahon. I think he should have been looking at the mirror, and the mirror would have a big plastic, a big picture of Vince McMahon and the book, and Vince McMahon holding a pen and a notepad, because that's what's wrong with Mojo Rawley. Majority is Vince McMahon. Dana Brooke and Nadi versus the Riot Squad. Didn't care. Riot Squad won. Open challenge for Ronda Rousey, which was a good match. We'll go over that later. Bayley answered the challenge. Hopefully they have the audio when we get to it, because Ronda Rousey tried to cut a promo before this match, and Phoenix was having none of it. All they wanted was Becky Lynch. All they wanted was Becky Lynch. I hope they have that audio too, because that was pure gold. And after tonight's promo, the match with Bayley, which after tonight's match, Ronda Rousey has gone through 3 of the four horsewomen of WWE. There's only one left. After tonight, Charlotte Flair, I don't care what they do tomorrow, Charlotte Flair cannot, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, cannot be added to that WrestleMania match. Period. You will piss off so many fans by adding her into the thing. And we'll go over later what I think they're going to have Charlotte Flair do tomorrow. Then we had Braun Strowman versus Drew McIntyre. Honestly, didn't care. And then we had Seth Rollins supposed to be decision for WrestleMania, which, yeah, didn't go Seth Rollins' way. Let's see what we have here. The show started off very good in my opinion because we had, and by the way, they had Daniel Bryan and his partner in crime Eric Rowan out there tonight, and not out. They didn't go out in the ring, but they had him there because Seth Rollins was supposed to make his decision. So I figured, we're going to have them both stand out there, and Seth Rollins is going to attack one or the other, and that's how that's going to go. And honestly, that's not what happened. They had Daniel Bryan in the back with Eric Rowan. He cut a promo about what happened if Seth Rollins chose him. We saw him one more time later in the night, and that was it. No, he didn't come out. They didn't have him come out and be a part of the final segment. It was just Brock Lesnar pretty much making Seth Rollins his absolute bitch. And I honestly don't know what this proved. Is it supposed to make Seth Rollins look like he's inferior? Are we supposed to feel sympathetic for Seth Rollins going into his WrestleMania match with Brock Lesnar? Honestly, I don't think that's the way they should even consider going with this. It's just, why would you even do this? Why would you go and do this? It made absolutely no sense why you ended the show the way you did, with Brock Lesnar pretty much being dominant. I mean, we won't see Brock Lesnar again for another month or two, if not before we get to WrestleMania. But Brock Lesnar pretty much made Seth Rollins his bitch by the end of the night, and I think it was the worst thing for them to do. But Seth Rollins comes out, he starts to show off because he won the Royal Rumble, and we figured we're going to probably get his answer tonight. But Seth Rollins gets out here, and in the end, Dean Ambrose tries to steal his spotlight.
Myself, if I won the Royal Rumble, I was not going to do it. No matter what, I was not going to do it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime shot, so I got to point at the sign, man.
You pointed at the sign last night. What the hell are you talking about, Rollins? And he talks about this being a lifelong dream, winning the Royal Rumble and being able to point to the sign. The sign pointing really started, what was it, 2008, 2009, something like that, maybe 2010. I know because the WrestleMania signs were not up in the rafters until WrestleMania 20, which actually it was shown off, I believe in August, September, October of 2003. So the WrestleMania sign didn't start, the sign in the rafters didn't start until 2003. And the sign pointing didn't start immediately, so I don't know why he's making a big deal about the sign, because everybody has to point at the sign.
The Royal Rumble.
Triple H comes out and gets showered in a big NXT chant, so he gets a little emotional because he is damn proud of NXT. He came out before he starts talking here, and is pretty much having this, he's having this moment of being, pretty much a proud father would be for his son, because Seth Rollins was the first NXT champion, the first guy that he handpicked coming out of NXT.
It's a match that was designed to test the limits of every superstar in the WWE, to take them beyond where they thought they could go, put 30 of the best athletes in the world in the ring,
15 at best,
and let them go until there is only one. Test those limits until there is only one. Last night, we found out who the one is. That one is Seth freaking Rollins. And now, you have a decision as to who you are going to burn down at WrestleMania. last night, Becky Lynch has the same decision. She will make her decision tomorrow night on SmackDown Live.
And quite honestly, I did put a thing on Twitter. It's like, oh, so is Ronda Rousey going to be on SmackDown tomorrow? Because Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar both get advertised by Triple H to be here at the end of the night. I was like, oh, they're going to have Ronda Rousey and Asuka in the ring on SmackDown. But then I'm thinking, yeah, I don't expect to see Ronda Rousey on SmackDown until we get to Fox in October, this coming October, or at the Superstar Shakeup. So seeing Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw was not like a shock or unpredictable. It was just awesome to see, and we'll get to that later.
But you need to make yours right here tonight.
Why does Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins have to make the decisions tonight and technically tomorrow when Asuka got to win the Royal Rumble in January and didn't make her decision until March? Can someone explain that one to me? Is anyone else going to bring that up? The fact that Asuka, I know Shinsuke Nakamura the night of the Royal Rumble last year made his decision, but still, why are you saying, oh, he has to make his decision now when Asuka actually got to make her decision in March at Fastlane? Come on, people, and logic here.
You know, trust me, you know maybe better than anybody else how fast the machine moves. We need to move, so I need to know. I need you to make the decision on the crossroad tonight. I'm going to give you till the end of the night, Seth, but then the WWE Champion Daniel Bryan is going to be here. The Universal Champion Brock Lesnar is going to be here. And I need you to tell me whose ass you are going to kick at WrestleMania.
This is actually, I think, the best promo Dean Ambrose has cut since becoming heel Dean Ambrose. This felt like the Dean Ambrose we've been wanting to see for his entire heel run.
Believed in you. I was the guy by your side that whole time. And we promised to come up to WWE and take over. Together, he tried to stop us.
What, you gonna go down the brother route? Talk about the brother you stabbed in the back on the same night your other brother told the world he was fighting leukemia again? Is that where you're going with this?
I'm sorry, but this conversation doesn't concern you.
Everything in this ring concerns me.
Dean Ambrose gave no fucks tonight.
You've changed, man. Look at this guy. Look at you hanging out with this guy. You are a pure kiss ass.
Pointing to Triple H.
So go ahead, man. Go on to headline WrestleMania. I hope you beat Brock Lesnar, or I hope you beat Daniel Bryan. I hope you do. We both know the one guy who's always had your number, the one guy you've never been able to beat fair and square, the one guy you've never been able to beat without corporate Kane or J&J or this guy's help, and that's me. So what about it, Chuckles?
You call Triple H Chuckles.
I heard you got some stroke around here, so why don't you make this match for right now, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose.
Triple H goes to leave. He's looking around first at the crowd and everything. He goes to leave. This is the best part.
Oh, what's the matter? Do you have to ask permission from your father-in-law first?
Oh, I loved it. Listen to the crowd that they have it. Phoenix did no shits in this entire promo for this.
Get me a referee right now.
And that was the promo for the beginning of Monday Night Raw, and I actually put it on Twitter. Where was this Dean Ambrose from the time he turned heel to now? This was the best Dean Ambrose promo I think he cut, and the fact that he went up to Triple H and said, "Do you have to ask permission for your father-in-law first?" It was just epic and awesome. And the crowd just giving absolutely no fucks, hung over from the Royal Rumble with the "Yes He Does" chants, just made it even better. Phoenix brought it tonight. They brought it last night, except it was a marathon of 5 hours, so the first half of the show last night. Of course, they brought it at TakeOver, and I expected them to bring it tomorrow as well. That was awesome. Then we had Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, and again, this match actually started the way I believe the match at TLC should have started. The match starts, Seth Rollins starts unloading on Dean Ambrose, but Ambrose fights out of the corner. Rollins drops in and keeps the offense going. Ambrose goes to the floor for a breather. Rollins drop kicks Ambrose through the ropes, sending him into the barrier. Rollins follows and launches Ambrose into the barrier again. We come down a little bit further in this match and more back and forth between these two. Ambrose drops Rollins for another pin attempt. Rollins tries for a suicide dive, but Ambrose decks him at the ropes. They bring it back in, and Ambrose blocks a sling blade and drops Rollins again as we go to commercial. Back from break, and Ambrose is trying to slam Rollins from the top. Rollins knocks him to the mat. Rollins with a crossbody from the top rope. They trade shots in the middle of the ring. Rollins with a sling blade. Ambrose goes to the outside. Rollins nails a suicide dive, sends Ambrose into the barrier. Rollins then sends him Ambrose back to the floor and hits another suicide dive for a nice pop from the crowd. Rollins brings it back into the ring. Ambrose blocks the Falcon Arrow. Rollins comes right back with an Enziguri to send Ambrose to the floor for a breather. When he hit him with the Enziguri, Ambrose did that teetering back like he would used to do when he did he would fall into the middle rope and then come back with that clothesline he used to do back before he came back. I was like, please tell me we're not going to see that move again, even though it's been forever. Rollins with another suicide dive, and Rollins brings it back into the ring, but misses a frog splash as Ambrose rolls out of the way. Ambrose gets a 2 count off of that. Rollins blocks the Dirty Deeds, goes on and hits the ripcord knee. Rollins goes for the buckle bomb. Rollins drops Ambrose to one knee with the kick, cranks up the crowd, and chants fan to burn it down. Rollins nails the curb stomp, and the way Dean Ambrose sold this was like, dude is overselling this. It looked like when Shawn Michaels faced Hulk Hogan at SummerSlam 2005 and was just overselling everything, or when Stone Cold would hit Rock with the stunner and he would oversell it. He had hit with this curb stomp. Instead of going straight down, he got hit and then just like did a backflip, like a backsplash. Like he just like curb stomp and then bounced backwards. It was like really ridiculous. Seth Rollins is your winner. We go to commercial break. We come back and Dean Ambrose is still in the ring, and he wants to try and shoot on whatever. He says, when I first signed with WWE, Nia Jax music hits. Nia Jax and Tamina Snuka come out. Him and Nia Jax and Dean Ambrose get into a verbal spat off the microphone. Ambrose goes to leave. Nia Jax with a forearm to the back of Dean Ambrose. Referees stop him from coming in. We hear a "let them fight" chant. The crowd was good for the majority of the show, especially this first part of the show and the Becky Lynch and the Ronda Rousey thing later in the show. But the crowd just on fire, did not give a fuck. They wanted to see some more intergender wrestling, which, quite honestly, it feels like WWE might be teetering towards that a little bit. I mean, it happens on the independents all the time. There were people saying the fact that Nia Jax took an RKO, a super kick, and a 619 and got kicked out of the ring by Rey Mysterio, that was domestic violence. Fuck those dumbasses. Go watch Defiant Wrestling. Go watch any independent wrestling that you can. There's ban on women matches all the time. ICW, I believe Progress has those too. It's common practice in professional wrestling in the independents. WWE and Ring of Honor probably too, and Impact Wrestling don't do it because they're bigger names. Just it ain't that big of a deal, and if you have a problem with it, go fuck yourself. Jackson Tamina took on Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, and the winner would go to the Elimination Chamber and be the first team from Monday Night Raw. I highly expect 2 matches tomorrow night for SmackDown Live to go to the Elimination Chamber. Nia Jax and Tamina win this one. Didn't really care. Moving on to Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle. Dasha Fuentes had an interview with Kurt Angle, and she asked him all these questions about his, like, when he was supposed to face Baron Corbin last time and ended up being Drew McIntyre. How's he going to recover from that? And it was just a typical paint-by-numbers promo, nothing really special. Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle went about 4 or 5 minutes, and Baron Corbin won with a deep 6. Out of everything, Baron Corbin won a match with a deep 6. After the match was over, he came back into the ring and hit him again with a end of days, and apparently he got injured either during the end of days or during that match, because as he hit the end of days, he popped up and was limping on his knee, or limping on his, I think it was the left leg. But again, Angle, stay out of the ring. You ended your career in the ring perfectly by putting over Drew McIntyre. Why ruin that by having it being, well, the Rumbles, whatever. But why ruin that by having this match with Baron Corbin tonight? And again, just like when he lost to Drew McIntyre, Corey Graves, and before we go on anywhere else, I gotta say, but Corey Graves and Michael Cole wondered, is this gonna be the end of Kurt Angle's career? This match was so fucking insufferable to watch because, not because of what happened in the ring. The entire fucking match, Corey Graves and Renee Young, I don't want to hear these fuckers commentate against, to be on a duo or anything ever again. They were just fucking awful. I swear. I have a girl, and I spent time with her and her 2 boys. They act more mature at 2 and 3 years old than fucking Corey Graves and Renee Young did this entire fucking match. This was the worst part of Monday Night fucking Raw because Corey Graves was sitting there screaming at Renee Young. She was screaming at him. It was just so fucking insufferable. I just had to walk away for a moment because it was just so goddamn bad. You want to see 5 or so minutes of cringe? Go watch this match because this was fucking pathetic. I don't give a fuck what it is. I mean, yeah, Dean versus Renee Young's wife. It wasn't that bad in that match, but this was just fucking horrendous. I never want to hear it. Like, Renee Young, take her off commentary, put her in NXT, put Percy Watson up on Monday Night Raw. I don't give a shit. This was absolutely the fucking straw when it came to Renee Young on commentary with Corey Graves. Absolutely insufferable, this entire fucking match. Imagine if this was a fucking Iron Man match and you had to listen to those 2 bicker for 30 fucking minutes. I can see the ratings for Monday Night Raw just dropping because of their insufferable bickering. It was so fucking bad. Corbin won, and I don't want to fucking talk about it again. But Finn Balor came out, talked about how he lost to he lost twice last night because he got beat by Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar beat him again. But the reason that happened is because he took Brock Lesnar to the limit. All of a sudden, out came Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. They have a bicker between him and Lio Rush. Lio Rush called him a twerp, which I find it funny how a guy who is actually smaller than Finn Balor by a little bit called Finn Balor a twerp. If Bobby Lashley would have said that, that would have been one thing. But you called him a twerp. Are you kidding me? But it was also laughable because Lio Rush said Bobby Lashley is bigger, stronger, and faster than Brock Lesnar ever will be. Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Brock Lesnar a little bit taller and actually a lot bigger and thicker than Bobby Lashley? Give me a damn break. Balor says, at least I lasted 8 minutes. I lasted a lot longer against Brock Lesnar than you did in the Royal Rumble. What was it, 12 seconds? Bobby Lashley kicks him in the gut. Finn Balor came down to the ring and did not do his usual theatrics with the arms and everything because of his fight with Brock Lesnar the night before. So Bobby Lashley beat the holy hell out of him. And it's either A, Finn Balor is going to win the Intercontinental title at Elimination Chamber, or B, WWE is like, well, we gave him a Universal Championship match. We can bury him all over again. We'll have to see as we get closer to the Elimination Chamber with 2 more Raws before it. Yes, Elimination Chamber is in 3 weeks. But with 2 more Raws before the Elimination Chamber, we'll have to just wait and see. The Revival versus Hawkins and Ryder. This was great to see Hawkins and Ryder back together. This will be the feel-good story of where the Bobby Roode and Chad Gable will end up losing the tag team titles to Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, because it's just the feel-good story that you'll see. and the win of Hawkins, the first win that Hawkins will get. And Hawkins did actually put on a good offense against the Revival, and Hawkins ended up eating a shadow machine for the 1-2-3, and the Revival pick up the win. Elias comes out, talks shit on the crowd. Crowd chanted, "We're not worthy, we're not worthy." They were eating, they were eating on the palm of fucking Elias's hands. Out comes Jeff Jarrett, says, "You have a problem with me now because of what happened last night." Out came the Road Dogg. Who gives a shit? They come out, they sing "With My Baby Tonight," get around the ring. Elias cracks his guitar over the Road Dogg. He beats on Jeff Jarrett a little bit. Jeff Jarrett gets his guitar cracked over him. Who gives a shit? We will talk about what Jeff Jarrett is doing in WWE in his new current role, and how often we expect to see Jeff Jarrett on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown Live. Mojo Rawley. This one kind of confused me on why it happened, but Mojo Rawley hasn't been seen on WWE TV in months. It feels like months. And really the ball has been dropped with Mojo Rawley since the Hype Bros were broken up. But we come back, and we just see him sitting there yelling at something, blaming somebody for what's wrong with him. And in the end, Mojo Rawley will soon reveal who he really is. I have a bad feeling about this.
This is your fault that this is happening. I have no one to blame but you. If you weren't so accepting, if you weren't so compromising, I wouldn't even be in this mess right now. I am the greatest combination of size, strength, speed, and intelligence that
Bullshit. I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
the WWE has ever seen, but they think I'm a nobody because of you. They don't even know who I am because of you.
And they turn around and it's a mirror, and I was so hoping there would have been a picture of Vince McMahon's face on that mirror so he could be blaming Vince McMahon. And if someone has a picture of him looking in the mirror, make sure to take a nice little edit job and just put a picture of Vince McMahon on that mirror so we know who the real trouble is.
That means now.
Soon.
Everyone will see who I really am.
Are you gonna cry, Mojo? Are you gonna cry? So, I have a feeling this is gonna turn into a comedy gimmick. Just who I really am. Isn't that what happened when you broke up with Zack Ryder and broke up the Hype Bros? That you were gonna show us the real Mojo Rawley? Cause I honestly don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I swear we already went through this and you came out and just stopped being hyped. You weren't hyped anymore. You weren't the hype man. I don't get hype, I stay hyped. No, you were this irrelevant fuck that really didn't do anything other than win a Battle Royal 2 years ago and didn't do anything with it. Night in Brooke versus Riot Squad. This one went about 2.5 minutes. Riot Squad won. And before the match happened, we were in the back, and Dana Brooke questioned the fact that, and she pretty much wanted to say that she's just as good, if not better, than Ember Moon. Yes, I'll give you a few seconds to laugh. And they come out, and who would take the pinfall for who would get pinned? And it wasn't Ruby Riott. It was Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Natty got pinned by Liv Morgan. So, what in the literal fuck would you have Natty take the pinfall for when Dana Brooke? They don't have the promo, do they? No, they don't. For the next thing. But the Riot Squad did win, and we move on. Then came pretty much the best part of the entire show. Ronda Rousey tried to cut a promo, and just couldn't get it done because the crowd was booing her, chanting Becky. She just tried to talk about dreaming big. She was here last year, and she stepped in the ring for the first time, pointing to WrestleMania, and it didn't work out for her. She was trying to talk about dreaming big, and the crowd just shit all over her. All of a sudden, Bayley's music hits, and Bayley challenged her and says, "You have an open challenge? I'm going to take it." And we got Bayley versus Ronda Rousey. And pretty much this section of Monday Night Raw was the best section of Monday Night Raw all night. The bell rings, and we get the formal introductions. Rousey immediately takes Bayley down. They break and go to the lockup again, but Bayley works Rousey over, focusing on the arm. As we remember, last night, Sasha Banks injured Ronda Rousey's arm. So, like Ronda Rousey said before, whether she's injured or not, if she can go, she's going to wrestle, challenge whoever she can. And this is what happened. Bayley tosses Rousey to the floor and follows. Bayley brings Rousey back to the apron and they tangle. Which, what happened was she threw her out of the ring, and I think Ronda Rousey was supposed to stay on the apron. But when she tossed her, her feet slipped or something and she fell to the outside. So Bayley had to come out of the ring, pick her up, and put her on the apron. So they could continue what they were supposed to do, the spot they were supposed to do next. Rousey tries to tie Bayley arm up on the top rope. Rousey with the armbar on the top rope as the referee counts to 5. Rousey goes down to the floor but comes back to the apron. Bayley drops her on the second rope for a 2 count. Rousey goes in the corner, but she looks like her arm goes out and she falls on her knee bad. She goes up for the up and over, once you get thrown into the ropes and then you hoist yourself up. Well, her arm gave out. She landed on her feet and her knee was compromised. Bayley attacks and goes to that entire knee from here on out, focusing on those limbs. Bayley with a dragon screw leg whip on the second rope. She had Ronda Rousey on the outside and had her leg on the second rope, and she just dragon screws it. Definitely looked devastating. And they go to commercial. Back from break, and Bayley continues to dominate Rousey as Rousey tries for a submission, but Bayley turns it around. More back and forth between the two, but Rousey can't get the momentum going. Rousey with a clothesline and a takedown by the arm. Rousey focusing on the arm now, tossing Bayley to the mat again. Rousey's leg go out again, and the referee checks on her. Rousey backs Bayley into the corner with the strikes, tossing her to the mat again. Rousey comes to the corner with a jumping right hand for a 2 count. Rousey continues to favor her arm and leg. Rousey with some knees to Bayley now. Bayley drops Rousey in a knee bar out of nowhere. Rousey rolls out and goes for an arm bar. They roll around and roll to the floor under the bottom rope. Bayley gets a belly-to-belly into the barrier, the barricade, and we go to commercial break. Back from break, and Bayley comes off the top rope and has to land on her feet. Bayley drops Rousey in the corner, and Bayley kicks Rousey out of the ring. Bayley gets a drop kick through the ropes from the floor. Bayley brings it back into the ring for a close 2 count, and Bayley goes to top and hits the big elbow drop. And instead of going for the pin, which I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Go for the pin. You have it right here. You're going to win. She goes for the bank statement for whatever fucking reason. I'm sure that won't come up or anything. I mean, yeah, she is one half of the boss at her connection, as she talked about. Rousey moves to the bottom rope as Bayley tightens the hold, and Rousey grabs the bottom rope and breaks the hold. Bayley takes Rousey to the corner and climbs up for a superplex. Rousey slides down and hits Bayley with some strikes. Bayley sends it to the mat, and Rousey runs up, slams Bayley from the top rope to the mat. Rousey gets it into the armbar, and Bayley immediately taps out. Ronda Rousey is your winner, but she had to work for it. Ronda Rousey has made all 3 of the 4 horsewomen she has faced look strong. Bayley, of course, took advantage of what happened to Sasha Banks last night. The knee also went out on Ronda Rousey, so that was another thing. But after the match, Becky Lynch makes her appearance known. Bayley and Ronda Rousey are giving themselves a congratulator, shaking hands and everything. I was so hoping that Bayley would have splashed a 4 like Sasha Banks has done a couple times to Ronda Rousey, but that didn't happen.
Ronda Rousey attempted to do last night with Sasha Banks, but Banks is a sore loser.
The crowd goes unglued. It's a copyright claims,
Ronnie, I told you I'd find a way back to you again. Now, for about a year now, I've been hearing about this baddest woman on the planet. But the last time I came to your show, I dropped you right there.
Points to the middle of the ring.
And even after after that, you never came looking for me to prove that you're the baddest. So, Ronnie, I've come looking for you to prove you're not. And you've heard about this, but last night I won the Royal Rumble match. And unlike Seth Rollins, I don't need much time to think. I choose you.
To all you plebeians out there and idiots out there who think Becky Lynch isn't over, this Monday Night Raw proved you wrong, just like last night. So anybody who still wants to see Becky Lynch fail, go fuck yourself.
And at WrestleMania, I am going to break your mystique. I am going to take your title. And I am going to kick your ass in front of the whole world.
How's your leg? Huh?
The crowd just won't want to talk.
I want my opponent to be looking me in the eye and primed to fight. I don't just want to beat you. I want to beat the best version of Becky Lynch that has ever existed. And let's just be completely honest.
Just a smug look on Becky Lynch's face, and she just has the best poker face this entire time. Ronda Rousey is just trying you like, yeah, I'm coming to WrestleMania to kill you. And she just has this look of, yeah, we'll see, bitch, because I'm coming to WrestleMania to take your title.
For 1 second, shall we? You, me, and everyone else here knows that I can re-break your face faster than you can say Nia Jax. In fact, you, me, and everyone else here knows that I have the ability to kill you with my bare hands without even breaking a sweat. And the only thing stopping me is my decision not to. You know what, Becky? I just realized that we are the same age. That means while you were training, I was main eventing in a sport that didn't even want women in it at all, let alone in the main event.
Just one little botch, not much.
And last year, while you were in the kickoff show for WrestleMania, I stole the show in my debut. How long have you been the man, Becky? Because I've been a household name for a decade.
Just Becky's look is awesome.
You gotta learn something here, honey. Any ring I step into is mine. I own the ground under my feet, and I'm gonna own you at WrestleMania.
I believe I just saw that too. I believe as soon as she dropped it down, I'm pretty sure Becky Lynch said, "We'll see." God, I can't wait for this match. Now, before we continue Monday Night Raw, what is going to happen tomorrow night on SmackDown Live? I guarantee you, Charlotte Flair is going to come out, bitch, moan, whine, and complain until she gets her fucking way. Because, oh, Becky Lynch already had a championship match. Becky Lynch wasn't even in the Rumble. Why is she allowed to go to WrestleMania when I should be winning? I should have won the Royal Rumble, blah, 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 blah. After tonight, it is 100% that they should not ever, I don't care what Vince McMahon says, I don't care what anyone else says, Charlotte Flair is to be nowhere near this match. Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch has to be the match for WrestleMania. This right here just showed that this is the match we want to see. You put Charlotte Flair in this match, you ruin a great match that we could have. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This tonight proved that they cannot, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, get Charlotte Flair in this match one way or another. I don't care. I don't care if she goes in the SmackDown Live tomorrow and just gets on her knees and start crying, begging, and pleading to be in the match at WrestleMania. She did not win the Rumble. Fit Finlay let Becky Lynch come through. So I don't want to hear anybody say, well, Becky Lynch wasn't in the match. She just got her way, blah, blah, blah. No. This tonight was what we need to see for WrestleMania. This is what I want to see. Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, that is it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the last two things of the show was Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. This match was one of those matches like, I'm just gonna go get a thing, go make a sandwich, go to the bathroom, come back, and Braun Strowman is looking to kill Drew McIntyre with the steel steps. Baron Corbin attacks him from behind. Braun Strowman takes a good bit of time and runs these two over a couple times after beating them down. He sets up the stairs, goes to do something to Baron Corbin, but behind him, Drew McIntyre hits him with a running boot. These two beat down Braun Strowman a little bit more and then chokeslam him onto the steel steps, and they walk away. So, is Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre a tag team now? What is going on with this? I honestly don't know what to tell you. And then we get the lame-ass ending to Monday Night Raw. As usual, they were going to have Paul Heyman come out. Well, Seth Rollins was supposed to come out and make his decision. Mike Rome was like, once again, please welcome the winner of the Royal Rumble, and then Brock Lesnar's music hits. Daniel Bryan did not show up for the end of this because they didn't need him. Paul Heyman comes out, praises and says that this is the easiest decision that Seth Rollins could have. He would go out there, he should go out and choose Daniel Bryan. Talking about how they would have a great match, a great sports entertainment clinic, but he would be foolish to go after Brock Lesnar because he doesn't want this type of fight. This prompts Seth Rollins to come out. Him and Brock Lesnar have a stare down. Seth Rollins gets a couple punches in and a couple kicks into the gut of the injured gut of Brock Lesnar. Long story short, 5 F5s to Seth Rollins as the show goes off the air. What was the fucking point? Why would you have Seth Rollins look so weak to Brock Lesnar? Why would you have Brock Lesnar come out there and utterly manhandle and destroy the number one contender to whichever championship he wants to go after? This just was stupid. It was absolutely 100% stupid, dumb, and shouldn't have happened this way. WWE's got to figure this shit out, but I don't want to see this happen in which we're going to have to try and draw sympathy for Seth Rollins. The story is there already. The last time these two wrestled for the WWE Championship was, I believe, the next pay-per-view after it was the next pay-per-view after WrestleMania, or a pay-per-view or two after that, and there was no clear winner because the match was coming to a conclusion, and The Undertaker came out and took out Brock Lesnar, and that led to Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker on like 3 pay-per-views that year. All you have to do is build off of that. You don't need to have Seth Rollins getting absolutely manhandled and destroyed by one Brock Lesnar. It just doesn't even intrigue me enough to see these guys wrestle now. So apparently it's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. There really was he didn't make his decision, but apparently I guess that means that Brock Lesnar made his decision for Seth Rollins. Not a clue. Monday Night Raw had one great moment. I mean, the opening, I actually like the opening. I don't care what anyone says. Dean Ambrose actually being the heel that I think a lot of us wanted him to be. He comes out, he stands up to authority, doesn't give a shit about Triple H, calls him Chuckles, demeans him, is like, oh, make this match now, but do you have to ask your father-in-law first, which was fucking great. The match was good between these two, better than I believe TLC was. Actually didn't get boring chants. It actually felt like they wanted to kill each other, and compared to the other one, which was slow, methodical, and terrible. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch has to be one-on-one. I don't want to hear Becky. I don't want to see Charlotte coming out tomorrow, bitch, moan, whine, complain about the fact that she lost to Becky Lynch, who should have never even been in the match, but she ended up in the match. I don't want to hear any of it from her. Not ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't want to hear any of it. And that was Monday Night Raw. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. I will be back tomorrow for NXT. Find me on Twitter, not NXT, but SmackDown Live. Find me on Twitter at TheFrance. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08. Tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, we are going to hear from Daniel Bryan, and we're going to have a celebration for the Tag Team Championships. Today, the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles mean absolutely nothing to me. Not after last night. And what is going to happen to Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Drew McIntyre, and of course the Boston Hug Connection, I fully expect to win next week because Why would we want to see Nikki Cross and Alicia Fox as a tag team? I see that lasting not at all. But I'm getting out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live, as it should hopefully be a better show than what we saw tonight. SmackDown has a biggest question coming out is what's going on with Eric Rowan. Harper's not ready to come back yet. Harper is still out with an injury. But we will find out tomorrow. Until then, my name is Franz. I will see you guys tomorrow, and you guys have a good one. Thank you all.